what if we could place redstone on walls? Well, with the redstone pen mod, we can. And I'm extremely curious to find out how useful this actually is. Let's start off with an obvious one, a 2-wide piston door. With the ability to place redstone on the back of pistons, we should now be able to make really big piston doors without having to think about them too much. With the catch being, of course, they can only be 2 blocks wide. Now, in terms of how this mod actually functions, you kind of have to put each element of the dust in and then place a little dot if you want it to power the block that it's on, which in of itself could be pretty useful. Like, the fact that we can have redstone lines that don't actually power things, that might be more useful than the verticalness. I'm making a bit of an assumption here. I'm assuming if I power this block, it will power the redstone on the back of it. Right? Like, that totally makes sense. Oh, does it have to... Okay, that's actually really interesting. So it has to have the dot to interact with the block that it's on. That is, again, that is customizability that could be incredibly handy. This is quite cool. Oh, what happens here? Like, does this work? Oh, this feels illegal, but I kind of love it. Oh, even more illegal feeling. What? I think I've just about worked it out. Okay, so the redstone lines run along like this and make their way across, power this redstone torch, and that allows us to have a pretty much instantly activating, bar the delay from the redstone torch, 2-wide piston door, and it's weird. I'm essentially having to rewire my brain to think of how this could work, but look how cool this is. Look, there is nothing underneath this. The redstone can just run along the side of blocks. And this dot feature is unbelievably useful. Being able to choose whether or not you want this block to power this piston or not. Part of me wonders if there's a way to implement that in real redstone. Now, although the focus of this video is vertical redstone, there are a few other components in the mod. One of them being this, which is an inverted redstone relay, which effectively acts as a redstone torch, but with slightly less delay on the off. There's a few other components as well, which I'll cover in a bit, but for now, let's talk about redstone decoders. I know it feels a little bit ridiculous to go from 2-wide piston doors to redstone decoders, but here we are. First things first, I'm going to build up a red coder, and now that I think about it, there's a way to make this smaller. I mean, I'm not 100% certain, but I feel like I could have redstone going into this block here, but then having an inverter underneath. I don't know what's going on anymore. I actually don't know what's going on anymore. I think this is working. This is such a weird thing. I'm not even sure this is actually smaller than a regular red coder, but it looks so odd, and it's fully functional. Like, look, if I change the page of the book, we're on page 3, we've got torch number 3, page 4, torch number 4. I mean, it is fully functional. Oh my goodness, I think I've come up with something even more cursed. What on earth is this? I didn't really like where the torch output of that red coder was, so I've created this. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, there's inverters underneath, and then we have redstone signal strings and things. It actually works. This is, I don't even know what to say. It's so strange. No way have I just made something smaller and even more weird. I don't know why. I can't seem to stop playing around with these red coders, but I can't stop improving the designs. So this one came with the realization that I can effectively have 2 redstone lines in one block. I've got one down at the bottom and one at the top, and they're separate from one another. And despite the fact that this redstone torch is underneath this redstone dust, it doesn't actually power it, which is kind of weird, but very useful in this case. So that means we end up with a redstone contraption where 90% of the redstone is actually on the underside of the blocks. But it works absolutely perfectly. I can flick on through page number 5, 5th torch. We can go back, page number 2, 3... 1, we've got ourselves a working red coder, Australian style. So now that I've made the smallest red coder possible, let's see if we can make a 7-segment display. Now, I don't know why I'm going to set myself this arbitrary goal, but I do feel like we might be able to achieve this within a 3-wide space. I may come to regret this decision, but I can fit a lot more information in my redstone lines than usual. I can choose whether or not I want my redstone line to be powered just by redirecting the redstone signal. I can also have multiple... Oh no! Oh no! This is a disaster! This is a big disaster! Oh, it doesn't always connect up. It doesn't always connect up. Maybe it didn't realize that I had removed this piece of redstone dust. I think we might be in the clear, potentially. Maybe. Yes. My build is saved. Oh, except it totally isn't saved because obviously to decode this, we then need to have lines that kind of connect up and then it's going to reconnect all over the place. Oh, that's a big thing that I hadn't thought of. Oh, another heartbreaking blow is that transparent blocks don't prevent redstone signals going downwards in the redstone pen mod, which is something that we use quite a lot in vanilla. It may be time for us to return to this design. The good thing about this design is that the redstone torches are in the middle, and I feel like that is probably easy for us to manage. Yes. Yeah, because I can have one redstone line under here, one redstone line under here, one redstone line there, one redstone line there, one here, one here, one here. Now, I spent a bunch of time fiddling around with this before realizing I'd run into the same issue that I had before. But it's because I wasn't thinking upside down enough. I was running into issues of redstone lines connecting up because we had them running back into blocks and redstone relays being triggered that shouldn't have done. I won't go into it, but all I had to do is cram more redstone lines in the same amount of space, and then you only need one block to be powered and a couple of redstone torches underneath to take 7 outputs. 7 independent outputs in this space. What? So that means we should now be able to program our 7-segment display. So if I right click here, okay, that is the bottom of the 0, and then if I right click... This block is powered, buddy! This block's powered! What? No! Apparently I need to do this. I think we're still safe. Do need to somehow think of a way to get this redstone line to here, though. I don't have much space to do it. Oh, but flipping them around and changing which segments they control has actually made it work. And now the build is finally complete. And I gotta say, it's pretty magical. Like, the fact that this fits within a 3x3 space, and I can just flick through this book, and I can choose a number, and it will be displayed on my screen incredibly quickly. I mean, I don't really know what to say. I'm kind of being a bit converted here. Like, at first, when I first started playing with this mod, I was like, this does not feel vanilla in the slightest. It will make life too easy. It will ruin redstone, but there's more to think about with this. All right? And it kind of feels super weirdly vanilla. I don't know. Like, if I put this in the context of 2012 me seeing this and comparing it to redstone contraptions these days where we're pushing boats and armor stands around and using powered rails and observers and slime blocks and honey blocks, this feels closer to vanilla redstone. Okay, let's try the most vanilla redstone contraption, double piston extender. Now, we have some pretty nice double piston extenders thanks to observers, but I wonder if I can convert this to a solid double piston extender. You see, if I use a lever with this, it doesn't quite work, but I think with our weird vertical redstone, we might be able to do something here. I'm already realizing this could be quite hard. I've done the first stage. I'm extending this. My goodness, this is really hard. Oh, I've made a mistake trying to make something already absolutely tiny and incredibly good better is quite hard. Maybe? Nope. Oh my goodness, I've managed to make something work, but the input is in the most stupid location. And it still uses a bunch of weird redstone and all sorts of relays and funny stuff. Oh. No. Yes. No. Have I come up with something? No. I mean, I've come up with like a convoluted version of the original. Wait. No. Hey. Wait. No. This is causing me physical pain. Nothing. This is it. This is the last one. Oh, that was so close. Hang on. Maybe there's hope. Oh, this could be it. Yes, maybe. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, I almost dislocated my shoulder. I threw my arms up so hard. I think I've injured myself. This probably isn't even smaller than vanilla Minecraft designs, but I'm so pleased with it. It's so strange. Gosh, 2 hours. 2 hours it took me to create this thing. I'm incredibly proud of it. Let's give a button selector panel a whirl. Oh, I've just thought this is actually going to be pretty easy. At least, I hope it is. So normally we take the redstone signal strength from the button selector panel and you have to do all sorts of awkward decoders. I guess I could just make like a snaking line of redstone out the back. And that kind of is the decoder, right? Now, it will be slightly out of order, but regardless, we do now have meaningful outputs from this. You can see redstone signal strength is gradually increasing as we make our way around here. So then, of course, I could hook this up to our red coder, which looks a little bit like this. And I've also put all of the numbers in their button order. You can see it's a little bit jumbled, but it is all working properly. So I hit the button, number 2 lights up. I hit this button, number 4 lights up. Now, if you wanted your outputs to be permanent, then you could hook this up to some RS NOR latches that self-reset every single time you hit a button. And of course, with a few tweaks to the decoder of the 7-segment display, you could get a number display for your button selector panel, which would be fancy. Let's take a look at item sorters. Oh, come on, it's too easy. It's actually too easy. Look at this hilarious little thing. That is so ridiculous looking. Oh, it could be even smaller than that. Hang on. Because these never connect up with one another, you can actually just have a signal strength of 2. Yeah, this will work. There we go. If I put some items in there, they will gradually filter out. If I try to put any other items in here, they will not go. But if I try to put some wool in here, it will be picked up. This thing's working. Let's take a look at dropavators. I'm incredibly curious what the update order for these things are. If it goes upwards, then we should be able to send an item from the bottom dropper up to the top immediately. Nope. And because the relays activate instantly, we actually can't change the update order of this. So this is a rare moment where vertical redstone isn't useful. I tell you where it could be useful though. In my 4x4 vault door. I haven't built one of these things in a very long time. Now, there's no way for me to get my design any more compact, but I do think I might be able to make it marginally faster. All right, let's get the ball rolling by just starting to connect up the pistons. And of course, we can direct redstone signals straight into these. We could even power the sides, to be honest. Oh, things are getting kind of tricky, as per usual. Yeah, I've spent about an hour on this so far, and I've got absolutely nothing to show for it. I think the problem is I'm trying to think of ways to integrate the vertical redstone, but this design kind of just lends itself to not having that. It was time for me to keep quiet, stop talking, and lock in. And finally, oh my goodness, I have come up with something. I ended up flipping everything around. I've got the slime blocks and things on the top and bottom, which I would say leads to quite a clean animation. Not that there is much of an animation, because everything does happen pretty fast. Originally, I was making this 2 blocks wide, then I thought I'd give it a 3 block wide base, and now I've just realized I put the redstone on the wrong side of the pistons, so it is just 3 blocks wide, but that's not the point. I like this thing. It's rapid, and this, among all the other things, has made me realize that vertical redstone it's pretty interesting, right? Like having what, 2 more dimensions to place redstone in? I guess they're probably not dimensions. 2 more planes to place redstone in, funnily enough, opens up a large number of opportunities. This probably isn't the last time I play around with this stuff.